Hi, I'm Greg. At Cambridge University Press, our research guides everything we do and helps keep you up to date on the key themes, ideas and principles in ELT. Which of course means that we can produce the best materials possible for teachers and their students. And in this video, we're looking at the key points from the Cambridge paper, Test Anxiety in Adult Learners, by Dr. Christina Gonu. First of all, let's establish what test anxiety is. Test anxiety are the feelings of anxiety that can develop within a student about an upcoming test. Another form of this is retest anxiety, which are the feelings of anxiety about having to retake a test, which come with the additional pressure of having failed before. And what can happen if you suffer from test anxiety? Research shows that the following issues can be caused by test anxiety: extensive worrying, having intrusive or irrelevant thoughts, low self-belief, feeling emotionally unstable, a decrease in motivation, forgetting complex learning strategies, and instead only using simple, surface-level learning strategies. And while test anxiety can affect students of any age, research has shown that it peaks amongst adult students in higher education. But what actually causes test anxiety? Research demonstrates that there are multiple reasons why a person can suffer from test anxiety. Some students may be perfectionists, and the thought of not performing perfectly can cause anxiety. It may be caused by a student feeling they don't have enough time to prepare for the test. It can also be caused if there is a lot at stake on the test result. For example, getting into your chosen university. Pressure from external sources can also cause test anxiety. For example, your family, job, cultural or societal pressures. So, test anxiety can be a serious problem amongst adult learners. However, it's really important that your students know there are many ways to reduce its effects. So, how can a student reduce their test anxiety? If your learners feel prepared, they are less likely to experience anxiety. They can make sure they're ready for the test by avoiding time wasting when studying, joining a study group for support, asking friends who study regularly for advice, asking you, their teacher, for advice, making sure they are familiar with the format of the test and its possible questions, and educating themselves about study skills. To further reduce anxiety, a student should decide what methods work best for them when revising content. Some examples of effective methods are looking at past papers and doing practice tests, making flashcards that cover key information, and drawing mind maps or diagrams to help memorization of content. And to help reduce retest anxiety, students who are retaking a test could look at their first test and reflect on what didn't go well, make notes on the particular parts of the test that caused anxiety, investigate alternative revision methods, and get additional test resources. However, revision and practice alone may not reduce test anxiety. Here are a few other points for a student to consider. Firstly, positive self-talk. This means remind themselves of what they do well on a regular basis and congratulate themselves for doing this. And conversely, avoiding negative thoughts of failure. Students could project and imagine themselves during the test and doing well. Use relaxation techniques, such as deep breathing, taking a walk, or listening to music. Ensure they have a healthy, balanced diet and a regular sleep routine. And perhaps most importantly, accept that feeling a little bit anxious is totally normal and can actually help them focus. So we've looked in depth at how your adult students can reduce their anxiety. However, what can you do as a teacher? The first way to help is by creating strategies. Work closely with your learners to create learning and test-taking strategies to help reduce anxiety. An important part of this is being familiar with the test and its structure. Second, identify strengths and weaknesses. If your learners have a realistic idea of these, it will help them use their study time more effectively, as well as identify what they need to spend more time on in the exam. Third, consistently remind your pupils that their language learning is about more than just a test score. Encourage them to enjoy the journey of language learning, rather than just focusing on the end result. Finally, praise is vital. Praise your students consistently and meaningfully throughout a course, not just after a test. So that wraps up this video. However, if you'd still like more information on the topic, please check out the Cambridge paper, Test Anxiety in Adult Learners by Dr. Christina Gonu. You'll find a link in the video description. We hope that these tips can reduce anxiety in your adult learners.